Hey guys, this is Woody, and today we are hiking the Manistee River Loop Trail. We're accessing the trail at the Upper River Road access point. I'm happy to be with my brother this weekend and looking forward to a nice hike along this trail and showcasing it along the way. Stay tuned. If you're not familiar with this trail, we are going to start hiking the NCT, the North Country Trail. Hey, say hi to Scott in the background. We're going to be hiking the NCT side and then hiking the Manistee Trail tomorrow. 12:16. All right, did you hear that? We are at 12:16 p.m. and we have a few hours before we hit first campsite. We're going to try to get a campsite with a nice water source. This side, the NCT side, is very shaded, lots of woods. It looks flat right now, but don't let that deceive you at all. There are a lot of hills and valleys on this side. Access point to the North Country Trail. We'll be hanging a right, heading down the trail. Both Scott and I have Osprey backpacks. And I have the Osprey Atmos 50. Scott, do you remember which one you have? He has the 65. We are at our first incline, one of many, and looking forward to hiking the NCT side. It's great to be outdoors. We're about 2 miles in, heading down another decline. Beautiful weather though. It's about 83 degrees and it looks like it'll get up into the low 90s, and then tonight it should fall back down to the low 60s, which would be nice sleeping weather for us. This trail can be heavily hiked on the weekends. So I recommend, if you're looking for a little peace and quiet, to try to get out here on a weekday. The NCT side is traveled less frequently than the Manistee side. But starting on Friday afternoons through Sunday afternoon, there can be quite a few people on this trail, and there's a lot of competition for the campsites. We're actually starting on Thursday. We're staying Thursday night, Friday night, and then we will be departing on Saturday. Looking forward to a great trip and just getting out in the great outdoors. All right, we're about 6 miles into it now. We have about 2 more miles before camp. And looking forward to that. And there'll be a water source close by. We'll restock up on water for tonight for dinner as well. Getting a little hungry, so I thought I'd break out my Scooby snacks. So, not a nutritional bar by any means, but nice treat before we get to camp and set up. We went through a couple of very steep inclines, but wherever you go up, you must go down, right? So we're on a little bit of an incline now, but not too bad. I love taking this side of the trail though, getting the hard part out of the way so that I can enjoy the second or the third day on the flat terrain for the most part on the Manistee side. Can't wait to show you some of the views on the other side as well. But you can see that we're still in a very wooded area. The trail is very well maintained. They do a really nice job in this area. And I love hiking the NCT trail. Look at this. Finally, the first side of the river. We're getting closer to the suspension bridge. We're hoping that we can find a campsite before the bridge, before we cross over, but we'll see. Just a little bit of a drop off. Nothing big. Well, we made it to the suspension bridge. We could have set camp up on the NCT side about a mile and a half back or so. But you know, those locations, they're really close to the creek, and we wanted to stay about 200 feet away. So we're gonna keep plugging along here and find a site. I know there's some sites right on the other side here, and it'll just make tomorrow's mileage a little shorter because we are planning on staying one more night. But this is the highlight, I think, of this trail. This bridge is awesome, and I've heard during the salmon run that a lot of people fish this area, and I've also heard there's a lot of trout in this river too. So if you're into fishing and get that Michigan license and come down here, I heard it's pretty good. And we have a map up here. I think we've gone close to 10 miles now, maybe just a bit over. We started at the Upper River Trailhead. Like I said, we came down the NCT side and now we're on the Manistee side. And if anybody wants to know the Manistee River Trail guidelines, here they are. So you can see number 1, campsites must be more than 200 feet from the river's edge or water source. So we wanted to abide by that rule, and we do practice minimum impact camping. So we're gonna look for a campsite this way. For any of you that are thinking about going on a hike or a backpacking trip, or even those that are very experienced and that haven't been out this way, I highly recommend the Manistee River Loop Trail. You can easily do this in one night. If you did, 10 to 11 miles per day. I do know a lot of people that like doing it 2 nights just to relax, and that's what we're planning on doing. So can't wait. And here we are. Scott scouted out this campsite. It's perfect. Nice level ground. The fire pit. And great scenery. We have a great campsite looking over the river. And we have quite a few fishermen fishing and catching quite a few trout. One other thing that I'd love to point out here, you really don't see laying around in a campsite, is this rock here. And if you look close, there's a fossil. I thought that was pretty neat. My youngest son would love this. He collects gems and stones, so wanted to point that out. All right, we're getting ready for dinner, and we have our mountain house meals. Scott, what are you eating tonight?
Beef stroganoff with noodles.
Beef stroganoff with noodles. Sounds good, huh? And I have it's hidden behind here, the chicken fried rice. So I brought some tortillas with me, and looking forward to dinner after that long hike today. And I think after we eat, we're gonna sit around the campfire for a little bit and then sound off. So we have another adventurous day tomorrow, and we can't wait. Good night. We had a great night. Slept fairly well, and up at 7 a.m. So we're gonna get ready with some breakfast to get some calories in before we start hiking, and then get to our next campsite. Because if you remember, this loop is very busy on the weekend, so we want to try to get to our next campsite before quite a few people start entering. It's now Friday, and we're only going to hike maybe 5 to 6 miles. So. What's nice about the Manistee side is it's wooded in a lot of places, but then you come up to these short prairies, mainly of ferns, and so you can get a nice view of the river. Up on the 1B campsite. It's a very nice location, very spacious and open, with great views. nice little waterfall there. This stream is about a quarter mile past campsite 1C. Remember, we are going towards Red Bridge access, so we're kind of going the opposite way that a lot of people go. But this is a great water source here, and there's numerous campsites within a quarter mile of this stream. One item to point out on the Manistee side is that there is a lot of uneven terrain, a lot of roots, so just be cautious on this side. Watch your step. You don't have the inclines and declines like you do on the NCT side, but you definitely have the roots, and this has been going on consistently for the last 2-3 miles, so just want to make everyone aware of that. As you can see, I was trying to be daredevil, trying to cross that water, and thought I'd be a little smart going to the edge of the board to try not to get as wet, and I went off both sides. So just recommend that when you see something like that, you might have to just go right through it and don't worry about getting your shoes wet. But hey guys, we're forging ahead, and we just passed 8B campsite. That's the one that we were trying to hone in on. By far, I think that is the best site on the Manistee River side. It's very shaded, it's a good size, and it has a great water source right there. We were 5 minutes late. Somebody got it right before us. So we are gonna continue ahead, and we're gonna now look at, I believe, campsites 10A and 10B and see if those are open. Okay, we reached our second campsite. We did check out campsite 10A. It was a little further away from the water source that we were comfortable with, so we backtracked a little bit. Found a nice campsite on the river with pretty good access to the water. So we're gonna be setting up camp here in a few minutes, and relaxing a little bit this afternoon, and then get ready for some dinner, and then we're probably gonna hit the sack a little early and then get up tomorrow, and I think we have just 2 or 3 more miles left, and then we'll exit at that point. I have the MSR Freelight tent. I'm very happy with it. I've been out in the backcountry with it a handful of times, including in the rain, and didn't have any leaking. So it has 2 vestibules on each side of the tent. It's a 2-person tent, which means basically 1 person, but you can squeeze 2 people in there. And I'll be doing that when I start bringing my boys out in some of these trips. Highly recommend this tent. There's a lot of quality built into it, and it does very well in the wind. And then my brother over here has the Kelty Grand Mesa 2, and he's had this tent for a while, and seems to be pretty happy with this one as well. I thought I'd point those out. Hey, good morning everyone. It's our last day, and we're just packing up and we're going to get ready to leave camp. First we're going to get some coffee and get a real quick meal, and then we're going to take off. So last night we slept fairly well. We did have some crazy raccoons in our campsite and some odd noises out in the woods. I'm not sure what those were. And had a great trip. We have about 2 to 3 miles left, and fish are jumping behind me. So if you remember and you come out here, a great place to fish. So bring those poles with you, and remember to get those Michigan fishing licenses. And we're looking forward to trekking out in the last 2 to 3 miles. Wow, look how it opens up. We've been in the woods for a while. We're exiting the woods and coming up to the road, our last final stretch. We're going to be passing the Red Bridge River access and then heading about another mile to the Upper River Road trailhead.